Alright. Welcome to Railroad. No, I need to pull Railroads Online Extended up. And my big map. So, I guess for about the fifth time now, I'm going to attempt to re-record this first episode of this series. So, I have begun embarking on a build series in the lovely game of Railroads Online. What I'm trying to do is I'm attempting to make a, I guess, slightly more realistic railroad. Namely, by not focusing on the freight depot. Because, to me, the freight depot is kind of a cop-out on where to center your railroad around. I think a much better center is the sawmill and or the ironworks. As generally, the main line kind of flows through here. Most of the products are either coming out of the sawmill to go to basically everywhere else, or they're ultimately going to the ironworks. With the freight depot only really having the uniqueness of it's where everything spawns, and it's the only place to take the outputs of the refinery. And also my voice is a little weird today. So, this is part of the main line. That's actually going to be the main line itself. It bows out into this so that you can come into the sawmill with a couple of lead tracks for preparing trains. This one to go for trains going that way. That one for trains going this way. That way you don't have to block the main line. I have built a yard here at the sawmill. So I have actually a semi-separate line for the logging camp. So pretty much this, besides this little connector to bring new rolling stock in, this is, for all intents and purposes, its own little branch line. Not even a branch line, just its own little line. That curves up and around and goes all the way up to the logging camp following that rough path. Over here, loading dock, there's a Y, and then a little yard with a shed back in there. Then I'll go to the logging camp. So for the logging camp, I actually have my log train here. Though it's been a minute. So you come down through here. This little tie-off is going to eventually be a sort of dedicated smelter line for the cordwood at some point. Then there's a yard. There's a little switch off that goes around over there for a runaround track. And then if you keep going over there, you'll get to the shed with a little turntable. And then I also went up to the iron ore mine, where I have built a little through yard and track. We have a turntable, a couple storage lanes, and then a pass-through track, as well as the actual loading and unloading track, as well as the start of the line out. So then this line's going to continue down this way to meet up with the line, which is actually what I'm going to be building today. But then we also have a line that goes down through the valley. Once I get over there and we can actually see it. Goes down through the valley all the way down to the smelter, where I've also built a yard. So it comes down through, eventually it kind of curves around, comes down through here, swings around. These are just for unloading and loading, with the yard being over here. It's a decently big yard, so this is what I'm envisioning as being a branch line. So the main line is going to actually continue straight over the valley and go straight to the coal mine, with then this being a branch line that ultimately terminates at the smelter, with a small service line coming up to the logging camp, which is actually what this line here is going to be. With then this one possibly becoming a line that will curve up to meet back up with the main line. So that instead of having to crawl the whole way up here, down there to pick up iron products, and then back up and around to then take them to the coal mine, for instance, or to continue down to the ironworks, you'd instead be able to take a much shorter path up straight to probably a small yard up here that'll meet up with the main line, and then that'll be where you'd turn around and go to the ironworks or coal mine, depending on what you were hauling. But then there's a little yard, a shed, turntable, and all that. But for today, what I want to do is go back to the sawmill. And we're going to start continuing the main line and set up for the connection to the iron ore mine. To the, I guess what I'm going to call the smelter branch line. So you have it curving out, coming down, and then getting ready to start coming down through this valley. Start curving the line over a little bit. Maybe we don't need to go that steep. In which case we'll just continue down at 1% till about probably there. Just a nice gradual curve. Probably turn. Maybe straighten it out for a while. About right there. Now we'll throw in a bridge, though I want a fancy bridge. I think I want the creosote bridge. So do I want to go straight, or do I want to put a little bit of a curve on it? We'll figure that out when we get to the other side of this little ravine. I'm actually going to put a slight curve in it. So I think that aims us yeah, that aims us pretty good for getting to the little through point. We'll go back. Maybe not. Come over here, actually curve her a bit more. Yeah, 300. About there. May have to tighten her in a little bit more. 130. That's looking promising. Straighten her out a little bit. We're a little closer to the middle. I guess now is when we can flatten out for a little bit. Probably gonna need another kind of tighter turn. Yeah. Straighten her out. And I think we'll throw in our switch. Do that. And I would say that that is the line down in. Run back. Clear some of the trees. Nobody likes... Might cut out the tree clearing. Oof. Though I do like... I like tree clearing. It is a... It's fun to watch the trees do stuff like that. You know, get caught in objects and all that. Especially since it's not like I have to walk back. I have, Railroads Online Extended, which lets me just teleport anywhere on the map if I so choose. There we go. Yep, there we go. And here we are. Back over here. So you kind of snake down through here, you hit this point. Get rid of that tree. Get rid of this tree. And then what will happen is the main line will continue out and go straight across to the little valley over there. And then this one is going to go up to the iron mine, which is where we're going to go now. Because I find I get better tracks when I build it down instead of building up. So we have our little offshoot heading out. I'm going to try to do this with the wall pieces. The rough idea is to do it at about 2.5 to 3%. Especially since the new tools make it easier to kind of do these lines that more hug the terrain. I think we'll swap out for a bridge for this little section. Went over. Too far. Jumped over it. Alright, now we'll switch back over to the wall. I'm a little worried that that's a little too close to the side. So maybe we'll give her a little more room. Up to there. And then straighten it out a little bit. Actually, yeah, we could probably just go straight for a little bit. Try to reduce S-bends if we can. Need anything that tight. Now a little bit. We can probably switch back over to a bridge. What I find really useful about Railroads Online Extended is being able to look at the terrain on the map, because it gives you that second map on the other screen. It lets you see sort of a little closer to what's the path you're actually following. Straighten her out, and then we can start. Bit of a tighter. May need to. Yeah, that one. This little section here ain't quite gonna cut it. May need to do a bit of an S-bend instead of having our little straight track. Start on the 100 right out. tighten her into like a, not a 30, 50. Yeah, 50 is looking like it might. Nope. Not quite. So maybe instead of doing that one at 100, we'll do that one at 90. Because you'd be surprised how much difference a 10-meter tighter curve will yield. That's at a 90. But if we do it 50, I think we just clear it. Yep, just clear it. Straighten her out for a section. Kind of bring us out, and then another pretty tight turn around, which I'm actually going to do with the wall. Up until we hit the edge of here. So carry on straight. And this is where it starts to really curve out, so we'll want to straight up to there. I gotta move. This one might need to be a bit of a tight corner. Uh-oh. Oh, that one won't even. What I'll do now is I will take do that. Nope. God damn it. Gotta do it again. It's a trick to make floating bridges in this game, since you can't just do it. It used to be as long as the two endpoints hit the ground, you could just I think instead of going that far, and then we'll just get rid of that, and now it's probably floating around the middle, which I don't really care. I just want it all to be the same. I just want it to be kind of uniform track. Nope, that's not. Nope, that ain't quite. Suppose I could shallow out the grade a little bit, but I don't wanna. Very slight ass. Gonna have to do another really tight section. I guess we're gonna have to hug the very meticulous. Wish I had somebody to talk to while doing this. It'd make it a lot easier to keep my mouth running instead of sitting here kind of silently laying what's going to be a very interesting layout. Curve her out to 60, because I think that's what we need to get around here. I think we're getting it. I think we need to redo this one at 50 instead. Ah! Nope. Shit. I gotta run all the way over there to get back on top. Put that section back in and I hate having the mountain goat in this game because it's inconsistent. Some really steep slopes you'll be able to climb right up, no problem. Other ones it's impossible to climb, and you're just kind of sitting there wondering, okay, what is and what isn't I able to climb? Should have been an 80, but actually what we'll do is we'll just set it at 50. We'll just grab this and walk right up. that one. Now we'll grab you. Curve around here. So I remember the very first playthrough of this game that I did a very similar run up to the iron ore mine with the old janky track, and I actually found an old recording I made of it, and that track was bad. It was awful. Go back to there. Then we'll actually straighten her out a little bit. There. I think we got enough. So I am going to real quick move. Yep, we are coming up to the this lovely little horseshoe curve. Do that. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a very tight curve. This one might need redone a bit. But for now, it looked like it actually curved out a little further than it should have been, so it might work out. And now we get to do another little horseshoe around this one. Very, very carefully. In very short sections. Also, credit to Heiss for the music of the soundtrack formerly known as the Railroads Online soundtrack. Something tells me he's not going to be upset about its usage in Railroads Online videos. Around. Yep, part of me wishes that you could bank track. Oh, looks like we're doing the trick again. We'll need to go a little tighter on that one, but for now, let's Oh, is it not going to let me? Oh, nope. This is actually a pretty good demonstration of how sometimes even these new track building tools are a little on the weird side. Though I do think we're on the right track with the track. I do think we are on the right track with the I may need to flatten her out a little bit. Yep. You can see the bottom of the rails over there. Just, yeah, the old janky track. It was a lot easier to do these very, I guess you could call them intricate lines. But they always turned out just absolutely awful. This might be another one that we're going to have to... Yep, I'll have to do the steel bridge trick. Ooh, actually, we need... I gotta get rid of this one. I think this one was 110. Because I forgot. Do you still need to be on the climb down? We do still need to be on our climb down the mountain. I'm gonna have to check this on Railroad Studios and see what these dang curves are, because I'm curious. Oh, it smells like Kenosha. That should get us. Yeah, we're gonna have to do the steel bridge trick once more. Oh. Oh, okay. Once again, we have tricked the game's building engine into letting us build track that shouldn't actually work here. In the words of Willy Wonka, he can take that one to the bank. I don't know what bank takes nuggets of wisdom about a railroading game as any form of currency, but hey, if you find one, you can take it to him. I think we've hit our limit on the grade for now. Oh yeah. Switch over to... Yep, so now we just need to very, very close. So I think I'm going to grab the walls. So I kind of want to follow this little trench with stone walls. They've fallen off. Now, let's see how close we were grade-wise. Damn near right on top of it. Okay. Grab our 3-foot fill. 3-foot. Or number 3 fill. Do that, and there we go. It is now a connected line. And it only took me... How long have I been recording? 45 minutes. Woohoo. So now, go through and do the old tree removal. Oof. Had to stretch my arms a bit. There's one thing with the tree removing. From what I've seen, there's basically 2 camps in this game of how to remove trees. There's the more proper modern railroad. You go out a good ways from the track for maximum visibility. Or, as long as it's not directly blocking a train from coming through, then it's fine. I think I lie somewhere in the middle of it. I don't like reduced visibility. Especially if I'm coming up on switches. I like to be able to know where the switches are set and all that. But I don't mind having the trees and nature relatively close to the line. Did this one fall over? No, I did not take that tree out. I must have taken out another innocent tree. Come on. There we go. So this one will be interesting when all is said and done. Oh, I hate that. That is something that needs to change in this game. The recognition of clicking a tree. Because you saw on this side, I click at it a billion times, doesn't register. Because it's deep in the bridge. Sometimes you can't even get it from the other side. So you have to delete the bridge, get rid of the tree, and then relay the bridge. It's a pain in the ass and I hate it. Oop. That told me to get back. I do love the jank physics of the trees. It's so great. I hope it never gets... I hope that that particular aspect never gets fixed. Yeah, nice little 2.5. And from this side, we can actually see really well those areas where we had to do the steel bridge trick. You can see where the bottom of the bridge is, how it's kind of hovering there. The game doesn't like that, but if you can get it with a steel bridge, but still want it to have that wooden bridge look, you can just go over it with the wood bridge, then delete the steel one. Not absolutely perfect. There are definitely situations where you won't be able to do that. But you can, well, as you're building it, you can get that done. Oop, come on. Nope, won't recognize from that side. Let's try this side. Come on. Register. Eh. Do not make me delete this section, because I'm pretty sure this section is one that I had to do the bridge trick for. No, I didn't. Okay, so this is exactly what I'm talking about. I have to get rid of that. Just to get rid of that. Just to put that in. And then now I'm going to have to do the exact same thing to get rid of this one. Because how dare I? How dare I not clear every tree on the path as I built? That one. That, and a valuable thing when you're going through getting rid of the trees is just to evaluate your track. When you're building it, you're not exactly looking at it. You're more paying attention to getting where you need to go. When you walk back up it, now you can kind of pay attention to the path that you took. And do a little bit more of an analysis of it, see if maybe, oh, I could have made this corner a little wider. Oh, hey, that tree's going. Okay, get that one out of the way. That one can stay. And you can kind of look at the curves and say, oh god, that's awful. I hate that curve. I want to get rid of it. And then get rid of it, if you so choose. Before you run a train up and derail on the side of a cliff and then end up having to, you know, clean up a massive mess. Come on. The one thing I do like to do, especially on these mountain ones, is to get rid of the trees on the non-mountain side. That way you can kind of look out and see the scenery for the most part. Like the ones that are like this, where it's really dang close. Go ahead and get rid of trees, get rid of them all. Then again, I might just upload this whole thing as one great big video instead of editing it, because every time I try to edit, something goes wrong. And like I had an episode made. The minute I got most of the way through editing, update drops, season changes, and I'm like, ah, crud, now I can't really use that footage. Because I didn't feel like putting a disclaimer on it that says, oh, hey, this was from the old update. That's why it looks so different. You can actually see part of the line going down. That's all steel bridge. Whole way down, curves all the way around, gets down, and then does some nice little curves down at the smelter. Obviously, sometime soon I'm going to be running it. Thinking that this will be enough building for now. And then what I'll do is I'll wait until we get a little further along running trains. Especially with the new cranes that aren't a nightmare to use. We'll be able to do some just running logs, running lumber. Maybe when we get a bit closer up here, having this little line, you know, up here used a bit more, then maybe we'll take some time and take some time again to then build more. Yeah, I think that'll be a good plan. This will be it for the building, and then later on we'll have some expansion. Come on. Oop, there it goes. I swear, sometimes you have to hit the tree at just the right spot. Kind of like in Rust, where they have the little X's spray painted on them. Actually, that would be an interesting little mini game. If you didn't have to cut down so many trees, that'd be an excellent little mini game to kind of have to sit there and click a couple times to get it. It'd be a pain, but I think it'd be interesting. Here we go, we're coming up on the... Coming up on the mine. We were walking here. We're walking here. And with that, we successfully pull into the mine. Just walk right up. Iron mine. Woohoo! Yay, woohoo! We are at the iron mine. So, we have successfully kind of run a main line all the way up and down to the smelter. It's kind of completed. Not entirely, there's still definitely a lot of work to be done with it, but that will be for another time. So without further ado, I shall sign off. Goodbye, y'all. I shall see you next time when we are running trains.